Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Paul from Circular Motion bringing you a new video. I hope everybody is well. Still in lockdown here, sadly, so just was kicking around doing that, so I thought 12-inch singles, we haven't talked about those, so I thought we'd have a quick look. I've got quite an extensive, well not extensive, but I've got quite a lot of 12-inch singles. Some of them I've had many years. Particularly some of these. This is my Queen collection. Now, those of you that watch my vinyl tag will probably, and the subsequent Queen review, will probably already know I'm a huge Queen fan, unashamedly so. And while we're on the subject of Queen, those of you that watched my studio box set review, you saw what a shit show that was, and I somehow managed to end up getting a replacement rather than a refund, and that arrived this week. And the first thing when I opened the box was that it had been dropped, so the box on the front left hand corner, bottom left hand corner, had a big dent in it, so that wasn't an ideal start, but I thought if everything's alright I can maybe live with that. It's not brilliant, but I'm sure if I mention it they might just give me a little bit of a refund, and I would take that, because it's not the box I'm bothered about, it's what's inside the box. So, thought, right, we'll start the whole process again. Got Queen 1 out, put it on. First track, Keep Yourself Alive, comes on. Great, perfect. Second track comes on, doing alright. Now, if you've watched my review, you'll know that this was the track that had the issues. The first inkling that anything wrong with the box set came from this track. And I'm sat there and, oh my god, as if the same thing happened again, exactly the same thing. And so I picked it up, had a look at it under the light, and it's got the same kind of marks in exactly the same place, which leads me to believe it's a manufacturing fault rather than just, someone's damaged it in some way, shape or form. So, long story short, this time it's going back. It's packaged just here at my feet. It's going back tomorrow. I've asked for a full refund. I'm not going through this again. I've also emailed Virgin EMI. That was a chew on trying to find some way to contact them. So in the end, I've done it through their Facebook page, and I sent them a message and saying, look, you need to be aware. Can you offer me any insight as to how this has managed to escape quality control? Because obviously more than one record's been affected by this. And I also gave them the rundown on the original box set with the warped discs and everything, and asked them for some kind of feedback on that as to how that could escape quality control. And that was Tuesday, and we're now Sunday, and I've not had a dicky bird back. So thanks Virgin EMI, awesome job. Anyway, 12-inch singles. So yeah, 12-inch singles, I don't know, they were weird. They were, for what they were quite expensive. I mean, you could get an album about 5, 6, 7, 8 quid back in the day, and these were like 2 to 3 quid, I think. I mean, I've got one here, it's got a price tag on it still from when I bought it. It says £2.49, and I'll get to it when I go through them. But they were worth it because they sound so good. They really do. And apparently it's because there's more information, so there's one, maybe 2 tracks. So this one's just got 2 tracks on it in total, one on each side. For example, this first one I picked up. So they can be cut at a higher volume, or mastered and cut at a higher volume, and because they're at 45 RPM, you get a better dynamic range, I'm led to believe. Whether I'm right or wrong, I don't know. If I'm wrong, or if you know more about this, please just leave a comment below and school me, or even send me a message. That would be great, because I'd love to know. So yeah, these were, and what also kind of set them apart was that quite often they'd be mixed slightly better slightly different to album versions or the 45 release. There'd just be some slight difference. And then of course you got the extended mix, which I really like in a lot of cases. A lot of cases it's done really well. Some things sound, we'll just like bang a few extra bars in here, or we'll just stick a few drum machine bits in here, and yeah, it's no good. But this to start with was a bargain. Was phenomenal. It's I Want to Break Free by Queen. It sounds unreal, and right at the end it's got this little medley taster of the whole album, which was always like something I could listen to again and again and again. B-side, Machine Back to Humans. Again, Another great track off the Works album, which the album itself was a good album, but it sounded just flat. I think all of Queen's 80s albums generally, apart from Hot Space, sounded just flat, just too compressed. I don't know. But the 12-inch singles were where it was at. They really do kick some butt. So yeah, I got that. I got Queen, The Kind of Magic. Now, I did have this originally, and I sold it stupidly. So went to great pains to find this on eBay. I think this cost me about a tenner. Originally, I had this as an absolutely huge poster because I have a friend called Karen. Karen Waring, if you're watching, hello and thank you. She used to be a sales rep for EMI, and one day I'm walking along, I used to live in Northampton, I'm walking along the high street, and all of a sudden she pulls up, she goes, "Oh, Cookie, come here." She opens the boot up and gives me this big, and I mean big, like a big billboard poster for this, which was just absolutely phenomenal. And that stayed with me for many years, and I can't quite remember what happened to it. But yeah, it was just brilliant. Anyway, Queen, Kind of Magic. B-side is A Dozen Red Roses for My Darling, which is an instrumental working of a song by Roger for the Kind of Magic film, Highlander film, called Don't Lose Your Head. Also obviously fell in with the theme of the whole Highlander thing, There Can Be Only One. But again, that sounds fantastic. It's an extended version, and the guitar work is just, you know, sublime. It's Brian May. What else? Queen Headlong off their Innuendo album with All God's People, and at the point this was released, a previously unheard, unreleased track called Mad the Swine, which was from way back when they were doing like the Delane Lee stuff for Queen 1, I think. And that sounds really nice on this as well. There's lots of like percussion going on, and it's just brilliant. I think not a brilliant cover. I mean, I think they could have done better on the cover. You know, it's nice to see sort of these two in focus, but these two just blurred. But again, really nice, really nice. And this one, Hammer the Fall. This is my original copy. I'm surprised it's in as good nick as it has, because we'd have house parties and we'd take it to places and we'd hopefully get it played, and you get pissed and you not lose anything. So that it is in such good condition is quite nice, and it's an extended mix again. So it's got Hammer to Fall, the Headbangers mix, which is just brutal on this. It sounds really, really powerful and in your face. And then on the B side, it's got Tear It Up, which is another nice sort of like foot stomper. I just got this one recently, The Show Must Go On, and I got this mainly just to see if it compared with the Bohemian Rhapsody soundtrack, because the mix of that on that album is just a little bit flat. The vocals pop, but the music just doesn't quite cut through. My friend Justin, he's got the CD single of this, and that is quite, savage in the drums in particular, really cut through you. So this was quite disappointing, but it was worth getting, because let me see if I can show you. This is one of the special editions, which is etched. I think if I hold it like that. Oh no, hang on. I don't know what I'm doing. Cameras A. You can maybe see it's got everybody's. There's Freddie's signature there. That's Brian's and John's and Rogers etched into one side. So they've had to write that at some point, and then it's been etched in. So I know it's not. They haven't got soldering iron or anything and etched it in, but it's good. It's got Show Must Go On, Keep Yourself Alive, which is a brilliant track, and it's got Queen Talks, which was something they put together, I believe, for one of the fan club conventions, which were always quite a hoot if you ever got to go to one. So I shall just put this back in here, if you bear with me. Very tight, that. So yeah, I got this. I actually paid about 20 quid for this, and it's, as you can see, it's not in, the cover's not in the best of condition, but it is what it is. And then on the inside there, it kind of opens up so you can see the etched bit, and it's got UK singles discography, which is quite nice. And believe it or not, I had every single one of those on 45 at one point, and I sold them like an idiot about 10-15 years ago. Never mind. Hindsight. is always 2020 vision. I'll see if I can get that back in. There we go. Oh, I'm not going to go through all my 12-inch singles today. I thought I'd do that at a later date, but we'll just go through the Queen ones. Scandal off the Miracle album, great track, I think, personally. B-side has got a 7-inch version, the A-side is the 12-inch version, which is extended and it's really good. It's also, on the B-side, got a track called My Life Has Been Saved, which is a bit pants, really. They seem to really sort of pants B-sides in the sort of late 80s. But again, this is another etched record, which is nice. There you go, you can see them all there. So yeah, I didn't even realise I had this. I was kind of like, when I got back into vinyl, I was digging everything out and thought, oh, I'll see what some of these sound like. Pulled it out, like, oh. Even though it does actually say special etched copy on the front there. Never realised I even had it. Don't even remember buying it. There it is. The Miracle, again, the album of the same name. I mainly just bought this just so I could get the print, which has the original of that. Underneath it's got some printed signatures, so I've got that framed up on the wall just above my turntable. But it's got Stone Cold Crazy Live at the Rainbow on the B-side, and it's got My Melancholy Blues, which is taken from, if you watch my vinyl tag, the Houston gig in 1977, and that's a really nice mix of it. So this is taken from Rare Live. So Queen obviously do have quite a lot of stuff that they could like tap into to release. Instead we just keep getting stuff churned out, like that appalling Queen and Adam Lambert album. And apparently they just discovered a lost tape of one of their first ever gigs when they were still like a fledgling band with Freddie singing, and they don't know what to do with it. But you can guarantee there'll be several different like releases, including a remastered sort of Blu-ray audio version and some other things of cashing in on Christmas. And I've no offence, I understand musicians have got to make a living, but give us something decent. Don't just, don't try and take our eyeballs out. Anyway, rant over. I want it all. I think I've just bought this one again, same as the Miracle. I've just got this one again, and just because I wanted it. It's got Hang On in there, which sounds like a Roger Taylor composition, even though everything's listed as being written by Queen at this point. It's got an album version and a single version of I Want It All, so obviously the album version is a lot longer. It's got that extended middle 8-bit, but it's again, these all sound so much better than the album version. They really do. This one I have had since it came out, and it's one of my favourites. And this one, the bass on this, the drums, it really does, like, it pulls you in and flattens you really, really well. When you crank it up, it's got Radio Gaga extended mix, and it's got an instrumental version and a brilliant track called I Go Crazy, probably the only decent track they released as a B-side in the 80s. I Go Crazy is it's quite meta as well, a bit like Soul Brother, if you've heard that one. That's quite nice. Cheesy, but it's a decent Christmas song. This is the one that was only £2.49, a bargain. So it's got Thanks God It's Christmas on the B-side, and Man on the Prowl extended version, again another Works track. They seem to have released most of the works in one way or another as extended mixes, which is really nice, and that's why these are so good to get if you're kind of a completist and you really like the band. Keep Passing the Open Windows is the B-side, and Keep Passing the Open Windows is a brilliant track. This extended version, not so much. Sadly, it just kind of descends into some kind of percussion wank fest. But hey ho, it is what it is. This was the first Queen 12-inch that I actually ever bought, but not this one. I sold that one and I bought this one again. But strangely, it has the same mark that mine used to have just up there, where we've peeled off the sticker. Yeah, Back Chat and Stay in Power. Again, it's an extended version of Back Chat, and it is phenomenal. I mean, Hot Space is a great sounding album in my opinion anyway, and this just, it just boosts that sound, that oomph. It really gets you right in the stomach. Queen, One Vision, the single really that kind of signalled their return to form after Live Aid. They were sort of hot off the on the adrenaline of that experience, and they sort of came back with a vengeance. This is a fantastic track, great live. It's got a peculiar B-side, Blurred Vision, which is some kind of weird bastardised version of One Vision. But yeah, I've had this one ever since. It's stuck with me all this time. And that's kind of it for the actual Queen stuff, but I got some solo stuff. So I've got The Great Pretender, which again is an original copy. This has got an extended version and a 7-inch version. And it's also got Exercises in Free Love, which I think is just basically Freddie doing whatever he does on stage when he starts to go off with his vocals, going up and down, Darlings. Made in Heaven, extended remix with a 7-inch remix version, and She Blows Hot and Cold, which is a brand new track, which is also really good. It really is good. This should have been on the album, really. There are several different mixes of this as well, including a rock mix, and it is just a great track. It's so funky. Kind of put that on the Made in Heaven album that they did. I wish they'd pull the vocals from that, because it really is. They could have really, with Brian playing on guitar and Roger on drums, they could have really made that sound special. 2 copies of Driven by You. Why is that, you say? Because I bought these just recently, and trying to see, is it this one? No, this might not be this. But anyway, this one, it sounds absolutely horrific when you put it in. It sounds like someone's scraping a Brillo pad over it. So, but I've kept it just because I don't know what to do with it. I can't sell it. I kind of don't want to throw it away. I might frame it, put it on the wall. This is the same record but decent. Again, I bought them both off eBay. This one was from the Queen fan store. They've got all kinds of cool stuff on there. It was a reasonable price, and it was, it is in great condition as they said it would be. Roger Taylor, Strange Frontier. Now this is an extended mix. If you're a Roger Taylor fan, it's well worth checking out. It's got I Cry For You and 2 Sharp Pencils, which wasn't an album song on the B-side. The I Cry For You is extended also. And if memory serves, I haven't listened to it for a very long time, but I know that Freddie Mercury went over and did some vocals for him that ended up not getting used, I think, at that point. But you can hear, just as the track's running out, you can hear Freddie Mercury kind of sing one line, well, not even one line, it's 2 words, For You, but it's that unmistakable voice. Back to Freddie again. Love Kills. I actually remember when this song, the video for this song, premiered on the Old Grey Whistle Test. Who's old enough to remember that? That was on one of those great big, those marathons where they played till 4 or 5 or 6 in the morning, and you could vote for a video, and this won the vote. So I kind of sat up and watched that, and had it on a VHS tape for ages. That I would just like play. The B-side is a track called Rotwang's Party, which was composed by Giorgio Moroder for the film Metropolis. Now, fun side story, when I was a kid, my parents used to let me watch films, and one of my earliest memories is staying up late to watch Metropolis. Now, I think I was about 4 or 5, and I didn't have a clue what, because it is a silent film, and you get subtitles coming up, so I kind of had to guess what was going on just by watching what the action and everything. But Maria, the robot, absolutely blew me away, I remember at the time, and that memory kind of stayed with me, and so it was quite a buzz to see sort of Freddie Mercury working on that. I Was Born to Love You, probably his best song off his Mr. Bad Guy album. This is an extended version again with the B-side of Stop All Fighting. Sounds phenomenal. Again, these all sound really good. They are all really sort of super loud, powerful, and there's such a dynamic range in all of them. This track is great, and I still prefer this to the version that they reworked for the Made in Heaven album. Little 7-inch of Love Kills there. So now that's got in there. I've got Freddie Mercury, Living on My Own extended version, with My Love Is Dangerous, an extended version of that. You know, and this was one of the great things about these 12-inch singles. I know I keep saying it, but the extended versions were 9 times out of 10 really, really good. Freddie Mercury was very much into the dance scene at this point, so these are kind of orientated in that kind of sort of New York disco scene, kind of oeuvre. Still great, and if you're a fan of the guy, definitely worth having. And the last one for today is Roger Taylor, Man on Fire. This was his first single off his Strange Frontier album. I remember having this on VHS, taped it off Good Morning Britain or something stupid like that. Yeah, I was a massive Roger Taylor fan back in the day. This is an extended version, great again, and the B-side's Killing Time, which is also like a really nice album. In fact, the Strange Frontier album probably sound-wise sounds better than most of the Queen output from the 80s, in my humble opinion. This is no exception. Anyway, that is pretty much it. I will join you again at some point to go through. I've got tons more 12-inch singles. I'm a bit of a 12-inch nerd, and I still keep looking out for them now, and I shall bore you to death again at some point. But in the meantime, please, if you've enjoyed it, hit like and subscribe down below, leave me a message, leave me a comment. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, give it a tickle so you know when I'm doing something new. And I'll see you all soon. Take care, stay safe.